So they're mentioning MVP, ganyan. Tapos, ano bang MVP? Like, ano ba to? Like si Russell Westbrook ba to? Diba? Brianna Stewart, Bright Aquati, ano bang liga ng basketball to pinag-uusapan natin, di ba? Turning waste into a livelihood project. It started from a high school science research.
Okay.
But it was 2020. For sure, everyone can remember it was a very dark time. I graduated college 2019. And then 2020, naalala ko nun parang, start of a new year, of a new decade. Biglang pandemic. The greatest form of empowerment is being able to empower others.
Welcome to Build Different, a leadership podcast where we all strive to learn how to build ourselves better through the different stories that we share weekly. My name is Red, your host for today's episode, and you are in for a treat. We are here at Victoria Court Suites in Pasig, and joining us is a very special guest. How does an actress navigate the world of business while still caring for the environment? Well, our next guest has been successful in doing exactly this. She is a beauty queen turned host and actress, an advocate for sustainability in the environment, and a multi-awarded social entrepreneur. Please help me in welcoming our guest for today, Miss Aya Fernandez.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's our first time meeting today.
Yeah.
And a while ago, you just came back from a meeting with a supplier, tama ba?
With our logistics partner.
Logistics.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the business you're currently handling?
Okay. Eco Uling by Project Lily Incorporated is a livelihood project turned social enterprise. We manufacture eco-friendly charcoal briquettes. That's why Eco Uling. It's made from coconut shells and biomass waste. So right now we are scaling up. We are continuing in building our carbonization facilities and farming communities in provinces nationwide.
Wow.
And thank you for that introduction. You seem to be researched my life.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be
LinkedIn.
here.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Well, I wanted to ask you, how did this idea come to life about? What was the inspiration behind it, and how did you start this business?
Honestly, Eco Uling didn't start as a company. It's funny because the advocacy or parang the idea of turning waste into a livelihood project, it started from a high school science research.
Okay.
And it's funny when I call it advocacy, parang, kasi it's just common sense, na parang, uy, wala na tayong gagawin dyan. Tapos meron naman siyang characteristics scientifically na mag-provide ng trabaho, or what they call now as green job, that's the buzzword. Gawin natin yun. So for me talaga, it's not, hindi siya advocacy, pero it's more of, it's common sense. So, yeah, kaya natatawa ako tuwing tinatawag siyang advocacy. Parang common sense lang naman siya. It's just that ginagawa lang namin. But anyway, thanks for the label. But yeah, it started way back 2014 as a science high school research project. And then a year after, it started as a livelihood project, coming from my experience as the student council president. And then with my love for science, because I was from science high school,
Right.
and then it just came really naturally. We came to a point that we had to go big to be sustainable. For corporate transactions, large orders, kailangan ng formal documents, legal documents. So that's how we transitioned into a corporation. So finally, in 2022, when it was a new normal already, we had the chance to reopen and start again. And we were officially a corporation. And so now we sell over 100 tons of Eco Uling nationwide.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you.
Wait, so you've been doing this since high school, or did you guys take a break before fully
We did.
pursuing it?
Yes, we stopped during the pandemic. Our major clients back then were restaurants. So, nung time na hindi pa kayo naman nag-industrial because our product, Eco Uling, aside from restaurant grilling, it can be used for industrial processes like metal making. because it can be a substitute or what they call sustainable alternative to coal because the heat value can be at par. So yes, we stopped, and then accidentally, that's how I became an actor. That's how I entered show business. It was never part of the plan, but it was 2020. For sure, everyone can remember it was a very dark time. I graduated college 2019, and then 2020, naalala ko nun parang, start of a new year, of a new decade. Biglang pandemic. Tapos, we had to close down the factory. Yeah, recalling it, parang, wow. And then, I was offered my first teleserye, and then I didn't stop acting since then. It was God who placed me here. So yeah, it's my story, Tito Boy.
Well, pero ask ko lang, so during that time, you had to close the facility.
Yeah.
Pero when you revived the business ulit, you maintained your partnerships and your relations with your previous employees? Ganun?
With those who were able to get back up.
Right.
Kasi
Okay.
yung iba hindi nakasurvive. So F&B yun, I mean food and beverage business. So sila yung number one affected nung COVID, di ba?
Okay. But internally, your team, you remained.
We
naman.
changed na rin. Kasi we changed location. So we started 2016, and then we moved to Morong, and then to San Mateo, and then we also established a site in Davao. So they're different people na, but we focused on who needs a job, a livelihood. So that's where we focused instead of keeping, ano mo yun, it's more of what is the problem, where can we address the gap in
Right.
between.
So you're talking about livelihood already. Can you talk more about Project Lily, like what it stands for and what
Okay.
you guys do?
Project Lily is the former name of Eco Uling. Yeah,
Okay.
when we got incorporated in 2022, we transitioned that to Eco Uling because before, our charcoals are made out of water lily or water hyacinth talaga. Tinatawag lang ng mga Pilipino na water lily. Water lily kasi yun yung bulaklak.
Right.
Yeah, whereas water hyacinth, yun yung invasive or parang pest na tinuturing na plant along Pasig rivers, urban rivers. Basically, we don't need them in the ecosystem that much. So kaya Project Lily. And we started as a livelihood project making bags out of water lily.
Okay.
Kasi yung nung high school, our research was fiberglass reinforcement out of water lily instead of plastic. So that's how I and my team were immersed in the water lily community, na those who were harvesting them and drying them under the sun. However, wala lang bumibili, walang market kasi walang product to make out of it na they know. So, nung 2015, nag-start yung Project Lily kasi nga, lily yung water lily and then making bags. And then the following year, pwede pala yung charcoal out of water lily. And then after 5 years, mga almost 5 years or more, ngayon, ongoing pa rin yung R&D, yung research and development. We transitioned into coconut husk and water lily, and then now coconut shells na lang. So now it's Eco Uling. And then sa registration na lang namin, it's by Project Lily just to, I don't know, we're sentimental about the name. So yeah, to clarify, it's Eco Uling.
Okay. So it really was a transition from Project Lily to Eco Uling.
Yeah. Kasi dati, we were registered under DTI as Project Lily PH. And then, it got confusing with our industrial partners kasi kala nila water lily pa rin yung laman nung
okay.
uling. So kahit na meron na kaming results from the laboratory na the quality is good, but since merong Project Lily, they are confused. So medyo nahihirapan sa ganun. So we just decided to make it Eco Uling para easier then to remember. And to those clients na focused on the quality of the product and not really the social impact, which is okay, focus talaga yung product itself. So yun, and we take so much pride on that because it was our blood, sweat, and tears to be able to come up with the quality that we have right now. And Yeah, and we're continuously doing our R&D to cater to the needs of our clients kasi iba-iba rin yan. However, sa restaurant, iba nga than the industrial clients. So, ayun.
Yeah, I can only imagine the amount of research and development that you need to produce this product.
But we love it. We love research.
Really, that's like the backbone talaga of the company.
Yeah, personally, I love science and research, and I feel like in any industry, it should be the backbone. Like in governance, in leadership, what we're gonna talk about today, it should really be research. Even if day to day, like even in dating or like in like I don't know how you treat other people, it's still research and should be science-based, if I make sense.
Right. Parang following the scientific approach.
Yeah.
Sige nga, can you take me through like the process of how to operate a business like this, from R&D to manufacturing to finding customers and to selling?
It's funny because the way we worked was different. Like looking back, it started with a problem. Merong waste, merong mga taong walang trabaho, and then merong waste, merong walang trabaho. And then merong technology. And then let's make things happen. Honestly, ours is not rocket science. It's just a matter of doing it, to be honest. So it started there, identifying ano yung mga problema. And then what do we have? What are the resources that we have? So we have the technology. We can do the trial and error. We can do the laboratory tests because that's based from our resources that we had. At the time, we started with a grant from the barangay. So, okay, yun yung meron tayong resources. So, that's where we started. Sumunod, okay, meron tayong clients. Kailangan pala ng legal documents. Kailangan pala ng official receipt, invoice. So, dun ko lang nalaman yun. Okay, and then register tayo. So, it became like, what's the problem on hand? And then, we tackle it one by one as well. Honestly, I didn't even know about anything about accounting and business when we started. I do not recommend others to do the same, but I'm just saying that was our experience. So just because you don't have any business degree or background doesn't mean you cannot do business. So that's what happened. And then sumunod yung we were not aware. I wasn't aware. Meron na palang marketing and sales. But it was just like, it came from a point na, kailangan daw ng brochure. Sige, gawa tayo. Ganun siya. Nagsimula siya sa ano yung kailangan and then ginawa ng paraan. It's not like, okay, ito yung departments, let's start it. Hindi. It started with, ano yung kailangan, gawin natin, then moving forward. But right now, the situation is different. So I mentioned, in order to survive, we needed to go big. We needed to be a corporation. But now that we are scaling up, the approach is different. So we are going slow to grow bigger. What do I mean by this? So we are focused on system building, heavy on research and development. So we have a materials engineer on board as well as a medical doctor because we are focusing on the occupational health and safety of the workers so that, well, of course, we want their welfare to be first priority. And also because for a business to be sustainable, for a business to be prosperous, it should be sustainable. Like sustainability is not an alternative. It is not a trade-off. It is not an advocacy. It is how businesses should be done.
Right.
That's really what I believe.
Right.
As much as I appreciate, yun nga na, it's an advocacy, it's a nice thing to do. No, guys, ano ba kayo?
It should be commonplace.
It should be the default. Yeah. It should be the standard of any industry. Sustainability. So to answer the question, how do we do the operations? It starts with continuous R&D at the side, product development talaga. There's an allocation for that. We also we have sales, marketing, and then the admin, which is me. Also, on the site, meron naman kaming factory manager who are dealing with the workers. So, yun siya. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. I am also the one very hands-on with the sales. Meron kaming operations officers, but I make sure that I am the one doing the deal. Like, I'm the face. Like, when we ink a deal, it is me. So that I feel like there's like a human aspect on it. So that's the art of maintaining relationships with your stakeholders, with your partners. When I say something, I follow through. We follow through. So we do everything we can na happy sila. Ganon.
Gets.
So yeah, that's how we operate. And I hope I answered your question.
You did. So like kung day to day, what are your like key responsibilities that you do?
Okay, my favorite part is checking on the factory or like the site. Kasi punta ko doon and then chika-chika, everyone's very nice when I come. And then pakain, ganyan. I was never the bad cop, to be honest. Like, I always make sure that they're happy when I arrive.
Right.
And then, that's my favorite day. Like, on-site na visit, making sure na okay ba yung meron silang resting area, okay ba yung mga machines, okay ba yung mga reports. Like, when I go to the site or when I go to our supply ng coconuts, I meet, meron kaming mga middlemen, but I also make sure that these middlemen are having good relationships with the farmers as well. Magkano yung binibigay sa mga farmers, etc. Meron din sa palengke. So I like that whenever I would do my ocular visits sa different stakeholders. Yung medyo hindi ko favorite na part is yung nothing glamorous. So I wake up in the morning, do my morning routine, I go to my table, open my laptop, go through the emails. Then yun na yun. I do my own research, update my team, come up with a plan.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun naman.
Yeah. So I'm just there, or like go to the nearest cafe and then open my laptop and go to these research, peer-reviewed journals, check out how the industry is going, the trends in the market.
Even you look at research talaga.
Oo naman.
Yeah.
Well, kasi I love research talaga. So even if it's, yeah, I'll do it. Ganun. It's something I would really always do. Like, even if I read a book, I watch a movie, I will always do my own research. And it's just, I think, a habit or a hobby that I love doing. Like, it's a mental break to me. So, yeah. Like, I love doing it. But anyway, so yun, that's how a day in the life of Eco Uling is.
Right.
But yeah, I really love the field trips. But most of them, I'll clarify, it's just me on my laptop. So.
I was gonna ask you, well, kasi yung mga viewers namin are usually curious, like, how does a successful business leader's day looks like? Do you have any like habits you do to boost your productivity? Successful naman.
Ano yung tanong? Sorry.
Do you have any habits to boost your productivity? Mga tips and tricks?
That's a good question. Siguro one thing that I learned from running that I'm applying in my everyday life, for you to go fast, you need to go slow. So you need to go slow to go fast. I read this from somewhere, but I cannot remember where. But it's also, I think it's one of the series in Prime Video, like they interviewed 4 billionaires. And one of them said, the heavier or the higher the stakes of the meeting, the longer he meditates in the morning. So I'm kind of doing that.
So mindfulness talaga.
I make sure before I go out of my condo, I'm grounded and I'm very present. Because I've really, well, that's me, ha. It may not work with others, but to me, what works is I need to be very present and calm. So kahit na maraming nangyayari, kailangan mabilis yung isip mo na to make sure na everything is parang within my control. And siguro, again, these things I'm also working on. I'm not saying na I'm the expert of these. But one thing that also helped me is whenever I do a critical decision, there's always 4 bullet points. So it's like a window. First is, what are the things within my control? What are the things beyond my control? Lista yan. And then, the lower windows are the worst case scenario, which I'm very good at imagining, and the best case scenario. And I really feel like the skill to be able to balance those four, it takes time, it takes wisdom, it takes so much emotional intelligence. Because currently, I'm working on being able to brainstorm the best case scenario. Because I realized since we started in Eco Uling, I'm so good at imagining the worst case scenario. But the best case, it's very important as well. Kasi what if it hindi mangyari yung worst? Nga ka. Kailangan, mabilis dapat. So, ayun.
Parang as a leader then, kasi kailangan you have that positive outlook that all of those people around you
aside from positive, pero objectively speaking, parang kailangan prepared ka rin sa best. Otherwise, hindi mo mapapalago as much as you wanted it to kung parang freeze ka kapag, ay maganda pala yung nangyari, parang ganon. Whereas prepared ka na, okay, next. Parang ganon.
Okay.
So, ayun. Pa ba? Ayun. I think we have a long way to go. So, thank you for calling us successful. But I really feel like we're just starting, really. But thank you for saying we are successful. I'll take it.
Yeah, tama naman. I was curious, saan ba galing tong philosophy? Like, that window or like yung pakikitungo sa mga tao? Did you have like mentors or inspirations? Or how are you raised to be like this?
That's a good question because I don't know.
Really?
Ano. But hindi ko gustong kunin yung credit Siyempre, thanks to my mentor. Parang, ang galing ko naman. Ang galing ko naman kung galing siya sa akin. I also don't know. Well, my mom is behind the camera. Yeah. She's listening. To those listening on the podcast, yeah, my mom is behind. Well, maybe she raised me the right way. Yun.
But you're the type to take inspiration from other people, or?
Yes. Yeah. I think I'm very privileged to be exposed to strong woman figures and leadership, people with leadership skills that are effective. Mm-hmm. Kasi there are leadership skills na okay naman, but it doesn't work. Kasi I was a student council, grade 7 pa lang. So early on, ako yung pabibong bata, yung lahat ng jingle making contest sa salihan namin. Tapos alam mo yung bulletin board making lang, Gina G, yung ganon. So, early on, feeling ko na sana yon. And then through putting myself into those extracurricular activities, na-expose ako to teachers, fellow students, seniors to me na ganon. And also, mabasa din nga kasi ako like, ironically, I'm dyslexic, but ma-research ako sa mga ganyang tao, pala-attend ng mga leadership talks, kahit may bayad ako, pag-ipunan ko yan. So yes, it's not from me, galing ko naman masyado. But as much as I wanted to say na it's from me, sayabang kong to, but no.
So how does everything, yung mga experiences na yun, shaped your leadership style now? And what would you say, or how would you describe your leadership style ba?
Ano yung unang tanong?
How did everything shape your leadership style now?
I think it's, wow, napaka-reflective naman itong podcast, no? Ma-journal pala ako, by the way, pero hindi ko to na-journal, So, thank you. This is very raw. I feel like it's both, I think it's a marriage of both the family, personal life, and the school and work life. My mom raised us like alone. We were 3 children. I was the youngest, but I'd say I'm the best.
Nako, at kung sino man yung mga older siblings, I'm sorry.
Then they will agree naman.
Talaga.
Ang yabang talaga, no? Hindi, magkakalayo yung gaps namin.
Okay.
So, I feel like that's a factor na, I don't know if other youngest siblings would agree, pinakaswerte ang bunso. Kasi na-practice na ng magulang sa lahat eh. Tapos pagdating sa'yo, parang pagod na. So, sige, do whatever you want. Tapos may support ka ng dalawa mong ate. Alam mo yun? Tayo po yung pinakamatalino, pinaka-charismatic. So, it just blends everything. Those are my privilege cards that I would say. I was surrounded by the right friends as well. I think, one, yung transition from exclusive private school into science public school. I think yun yung unang beses na namulat yung mata ko sa class. Like, yung gaps na mayroong mahirap. Alam mo, yung mahirap maging mahirap. We didn't grow up rich. We also didn't grow up poor. So I feel like we're in the middle. But doon namulat yung mata ko na may dadating ng naka-BMW but may darating ng butas yung tsinelas. So it was a challenge as a student council. How can you propose projects na magbe-bridge yung gap na yun? So I think yun, exposure to those things, but nothing really very drastic or radical. I think it's just an accumulative exposure to these stories, to these realities.
Sure.
And how are you gonna play your cards right?
So what do you think became the core principles that make you make your decisions in life?
I always say my best trait is integrity. My mom raised us that, well, money matters, but it's not everything.
Right.
She also raised us na when I have high grades, she's, oh, nice. When I have low grades, nice. Before, medyo naiinis ako kasi ano ba yan? I have so many awards, nice lang. But I realized at the end of this life, it taught me that it is not dependent on awards. So I think yun naman yung naging kinalabasan niya na maganda, na nonchalant siya. Na kasi nga, hindi na inculcate sa utak ko na, ay, masaya siya pag may award ako. So, kailangan award. Yung nanaig is yung why ko. Parang ganon. So, kasi yung ibang parents, nakikita ko before naiinggit pa ako, ba't yung ibang parents, Gina G, yung akin hindi. Pero nakabuti pala siya.
Right.
So, kasi alam ko naman proud siya, hindi lang siya expressive. And I realized na okay pala yung ganong technique. And so, ano nga ulit yung tanong?
Pero since you touched on it naman na,
Oh.
like, ang dami niyo ng awards Parang I heard na you got some grants internationally.
Yeah.
Ganun pa rin ba yung mom mo? Does she congratulate you on
Yeah,
that?
she does.
Ayan.
Kasi, pinipilit ko siya, Mom, may award may award talaga kami doon. Just share naman niya sa, bro, proud of you, anak. But then again, yun nga I think it's one trait na ngayon ko lang na-realize while talking to you. So, thanks for your questions na it's not really about the recognitions. I feel like nagmamatter lang yung recognitions kapag I'm at the middle of the night and still looking at the ceiling, what am I gonna do with these problems sa echo-huling? Like, oh no, we're gonna lose this number of zeros. So, and then when I open social media and then, I look at the awards, parang may pampalubag loob na, it's okay. So I think it helps naman. But if it will be the main thing, baka hindi.
Right. So going back to the question, yung core principle you would say would be to focus on your why and your motivation versus external validation.
Ay, oo naman.
Yeah.
Oo. I feel like ako rin as a person, aside from the fact na ang yabang ko,
Hindi naman.
parang
Sure.
never talaga hindi, aminin ko na. Parang
Hindi,
never nag-matter yung external validation. Parang kahit na sinasabi nilang, oo, kahit growing up, nung bata ako, parang sasabihin nilang, ang pangit naman ang suot mo. Parang sasabihin ko lang, ang pangit mo din. Yeah.
Is that your mantra? I was gonna ask you if you have a life quote or a mantra.
Medyo malayo sa trait na yun yung mantra ko I always say, or like, I have like a written of this mantra. The greatest form of empowerment is being able to empower others. Mm.
Wow. Okay.
So very salungat siya dun sa ang pangit mo rin.
Speaking of others, how do you choose the people you work with ba?
That's a good question because I learned it the hard way. I learned this from Ben Wintle. He's the founder and CEO of Bookie. And then he's the husband of a very good mentor of mine, Isa Calzado. He told me, if you are the leader of your organization, imagine you are rehiring yourself all the time. So you begin with yourself. You have to have reasons why are you gonna hire yourself for the job that you're doing. Diba, you have a list of job description, to-do list. Yun yung job description mo. O qualified ka ba o ganda lang yung ambag mo. So that's first. Second, I should know my weaknesses very well. And then from there, that's how I hire other people na who can do what I cannot. Para nagko-complement kami. So that's first. Very skills-based ako at first. Sa ngayon na, I'm not saying this is the right thing. I may be wrong also. But what's working so far is based from competence of the person. Is the person excellent in doing this specific job that this person needs to do? Because I am very sure that I excel in what I do. Now, kailangan i-content. Right. Then, I think kapantay niya yung naiintindihan mo ba yung core values natin, which is our core value on sustainability, which involves the people, the planet, and the profit, na kailangan pantay-pantay din yan. Ganon. Kasi nagka-experience na ako before na, sana hindi niya marinig tong podcast na to, na gusto niya, meron kaming staff before na PWDs, and since mas mababa yung output na nagagawa nila, mas mababa yung sweldo nun. Parang ano yun? Anong klaseng mindset yun? So that's how they think. And I think, how I think is like, there's this thing called human rights na just because you don't have an arm, just because you lack one arm, you get less sweldo because you produce less. So, mga ganun. I think that's another factor. Sana pareho kami ng moral compass, no? Medyo hindi yung, medyo weird eh. And then, third, I put so much value on those people who honor their word. Accountability. So, well, in any case naman, di ba, parang when may it be friendship or what. So, I think I take so much on that. Anyone can be a visionary, anyone can have great plans, but the smallest act beats the grandest intention. So, even if you have this big, eureka idea, if your actions do not follow through, if the results are not resulting, sorry, pampabigat ka ng group work natin dahil kailangan mong ma-evict sa bahay ni Kuya. So, yun, I think that's how I am choosing my teammates. But at the same time, looking back, naniniwala rin kasi ako sa God and the universe, they work with you. So when I meet someone and then, like merong team member na hinanap ko talaga, sinuyod ko ang buong mundo para mahanap. Yung isa naman parang
invisible string.
Andyan na pala, all along. Yan. Meron namang nagkamaling hire na dahil lang the vibes were vibing, pero hindi pala yun sapat.
Right.
So that's why that came up with my 3 criteria that I mentioned. So yun.
Okay. So competency, accountability, and also sharing the vision that you have.
Oo. And yung kind of integrity that I have. So, who are willing to do what it takes, Not everyone is designed for startups. And that's okay.
Right.
You can be for corporate, that's okay. You can be for entrepreneurship, that's okay. You can be for the arts, okay lang yun yan. But what I'm saying is that I need someone who's designed to think and work for a startup. And that is someone who's very flexible and who will do whatever it takes, you know. And there's like also a good mix and balance of trust among each other. Kasi minsan, yun nga, you will go beyond your job description. But since you have a growth mindset, you know that in the future you can have a stakes. You can have your own share in the company. So you're also doing whatever it takes for the company. So, ganun. Yeah.
Apart from like what you mentioned, making those mistakes with hiring the wrong people or maybe yung parang wrong interactions with people, ano yung other challenges that you faced in establishing this company?
Siguro yung ease of doing a green business in the Philippines. First, I'd like to acknowledge that since we started in 2015 and compared to now, I have seen a big progress. Before, when I mentioned the word circular economy, hindi siya alam ng tao. But now, common term na siya, which is basically the indigenous principle of Filipinos, what comes from the earth must return to it. So first, I'd like to emphasize that there has been a big progress, but I feel like we can work more, work on it more pa. Whereas everyone is all in terms of carbon credits, carbon offsets, because it's a challenge when people hear the word sustainability, they think it's charity, whereas sustainability is an investment for the business. The most progressive countries now invested in where we are investing now, which is the rural economies. Teaching the technology step by step and making sure that the farming communities or the rural communities are open and adapting it. Whereas, instead of repeating history, now we are gonna go industrial na exponential, lowest cost possible, highest product output. It may work for some industries, but it's not for all, specifically on our product, which is a renewable fuel source. So that's one challenge, but I'm not tired. I will never be tired as of today. Kasi there's hope eh. May nakakausap ka naman na open. Challenge lang talaga siya kasi i-explain mo pa. Whereas kung alam na ng lahat, edi madali na lang. Another thing is, siguro in the Philippines in general, political game has a say on making things happen. So sometimes we are at the advantage, sometimes we're not. Kasi kung walang kakilala doon, ganyan. Hindi naman siya malaking problema, but it's still a hurdle. Whereas, na lang, di ba, black and white. Kung maganda yung proyekto, edi give it a go, di ba? Bakit kailangan pang may referral?
Yes.
So, but okay lang. Sorry, nagiging rant pala tong podcast na to. But siguro these are just realities, di ba? It's just the reality. And it's funny because when I hear myself say it, it's funny. But it's a problem. So, sana, in the future, wala na to.
As you mentioned nga, sana parang sustainability is present and is the standard for all
Oo, na
businesses.
parang hindi na siya topic ng keynote speech kasi normal na siya. Ngayon, kung iisipin mo lang naman, sustainability, like, why would you cut trees to make charcoals when we have 3% pristine forests left? And every year, 50 million Filipinos are affected because of the typhoons. So parang makes sense naman, di ba? So why are we still cutting trees? So why are we still doing all we can to do these illegal things, destroying the lives of the rural poor? It's not a matter of taking care of the trees na eh. Like, pwede mo kasing i-argue na, hindi naman kami nature lover eh. Ate, hindi na siya matter of nature lover ka ba o hindi? Do you care about lives? So, parang ganun. But then again, I feel like the approach should be, let's educate, let's work together, let's do what we can. Like, wag na tayo mag-away-away. Parang, bigay nyo na lang yung permit na kailangan namin. And then, let's see where we can work together. Ganun.
Pero it's really part of the process, diba? If you're trying to make change, you have to start somewhere.
Yun na lang yung pampalubag-loob ko. Charot lang. But yeah, yes, you always start somewhere. And I was saying nga to my team, if in this lifetime, di man ma-achieve yung vision namin, okay lang, at least na-start namin. And then yung next na lang yung magtutuloy. But at least we're just really focusing on what we can do. Otherwise, papagod kami. So it's just really working on the next step na lang.
Right. In a way, you're making it easier for social entrepreneurs in the future now. Because you already have this information that you can share with them. Yeah.
Ganun na lang. Pampalubag na ako. Charot lang. Yes. I really agree. And also, yung ganito, yung podcast like this, the fact na you are willing to listen to what I have to say when others think na it's weird. And when I say others, those are people in power or those who have the money to invest on big changes. These things matter na we are all talking in the same wavelength.
Right. Can you share with me the greatest highlight of your journey so far with Echo Wuling?
Greatest highlight. Siguro when I met this, wag ko na lang pangalanan para safe. But she is a leader of an indigenous community. We are working kasi on establishing a carbonization facility in their area because nag-uuling din sila ng kahoy na binebenta. And then, the kind of hope that she was able to manifest that I myself did not even have at that time, na merong pag-asa na magkaroon ng pangkabuhayan na hindi nakaka-lung cancer, na meron dignidad, na pwedeng gawing long-term, legal, and we'll just, for her, give them dignity. I was even speechless at that time talking to her. And parang in my head, I was pressured to make things happen kasi she has so much hope. So I think that's one of it's a highlight because when you encounter like monsters, you will go back to that moment talking to her and the kind of hope that was just created through that conversation. And the kind of change that we can do, or not even. The kind of curse that we want to break. The kind of narrative that we want to change. And the kind of sense of identity that we're trying to maintain. Like, I don't want to say create because they're already great. Yes, they're marginalized financially. But there are people, like, they're the real Filipinos. That may be controversial, but you get my point. So yeah, thanks for the question.
Do you feel that sense of responsibility to almost be there for them?
I feel like once you have a vision and then you have the resources, you have the moral obligation to make it happen. That's just for me.
Yeah.
So to others, it may be different and it's okay. It's just that maybe yun na yung tinatawag nilang calling, di ba?
Right.
Na minsan pag nagdadasal ako, Lord, ano ba naman yan? Napaka-hassle ng calling. So, that ganun talaga eh. Even you here right now, like you wouldn't be here if it wasn't your calling. Tama ba? Tama. So, yun.
Would you be able to confidently say that you found your purpose in life na?
Sana para magandang pakinggan. Charot. Maybe calling. Purpose, I don't know yet. I feel like purpose and calling, they are written, this is an unpopular opinion, I really feel like they're written in pencil. Just listen to where you are called today. Example, I don't know if you guys are believers of God. I'm so sorry if you're not. But pag tinawag ka ni Lord sa isang bagay, hindi naman siya parang written on pen. Remember, sino yung personality sa Bible na pinapapatay niya yung anak niyang si Isaac? Sino yun? Si Abraham ba yun?
Yeah, Father Abraham.
So, I don't take any credit from this wisdom. I can't even remember where I got this from na, but I really believe where you are called today might not be the thing you will be called tomorrow. Example, di ba sabi niya, Abraham, patayin mo yung son mo. Ito naman si Abraham, kuha ng knife, ganyan. Anak, lie down there. Tapos nung papatayin niya, ay, wait lang, Abraham. Hindi pala, joke lang, testing lang yun. Okay, hindi. So I feel like in life, ganun din. That's how I exactly felt when I entered show business. Na parang, Lord, ano ba to? Parang, yung sabi nilang, doesn't mean you fit in, doesn't mean you belong. Ganun yung nafe-feel ko at the start. But looking back, buti na lang, in-embrace ko na lang din. Also, aside from the fact na wala akong choice, diba? We all needed a job, which I am very grateful for. So I was called to that industry at that time. Okay, push tayo. Nung nag-new normal na, may opportunity to bring back Eco Uling, push natin. And then ngayon naman, okay, do both, push natin. Turn down some projects so I can focus on Eco Uling, gawin natin. So I think that's one of my core beliefs every day. Just focus on where you are called today. If you're called to just cry, mourn in bed today, then do it. You know? Wala namang pumipilit sa'yo na bumangon. Unless kailangan mong magtrabaho, ibang usapan na yun. Hindi ka pwedeng sad kapag kailangan mo na ng, alam mo yun, you inked a deal, gawin mo yung trabaho. Iba nang usapan yun. But yeah, going back, do what you're called today.
Actually, I've never thought of it that way, na parang it's written in pencil. I always thought na parang something you run into and you have to commit to.
Yeah, parang compass lang siya talaga eh. Kasi also, nakaka-pressure din kaya yung parang kailangan naka-ballpen siya. So, again, this is just for me. It really works for me that way na, okay, what am I called to do today? Ganun lang. Take it one day at a time. If hindi kaya ng one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Pag di pa rin kaya, 1 minute at a time. I'm serious. Yeah. Okay, to those listening at the podcast, people are laughing on set. But really, if you're already rock bottom, 1 second at a time. Diba? Basta, tuloy lang.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Jasper with a leadership tip. Own your voice and elevate others. As a woman in leadership, your voice is powerful. Use it with confidence. Speak up in rooms where decisions are made. Challenge outdated norms and advocate not just for yourself, but for others who need a platform. True leadership isn't just about personal success. It's about creating opportunities, mentoring, and lifting others as you rise. When women support women, the impact is unstoppable. Back to the episode.
The Built Different podcast would like to thank Henry's Cameras, Power Mac, Hollyland, Ugreen Philippines, Kappa Cabina, Surge Digital Media, Madcap Productions, Days Media Group, Jazz Up Communications.
Okay, just to take a quick break from our conversation, every episode kasi ng Built Different podcast, we have different, same. So it's a game that we do. And this segment specifically is going to be catered to you. So ang game na naisip ko for you is, kasi nga, uling yung company mo.
Oo.
Kailan ka uling? Gets naman? So parang, kailan ka uling gumamit ng uling ng Eco Uling Bees? Yun. So I'm just gonna ask you questions. Medyo rapid fire, you can answer them, okay?
Huling nag-something, tapos sasagutin ko siya. Okay.
Alright. So first question, kailan ka uling nag-adventure?
Nung, El Nido, Palawan.
El Nido.
Nung January.
How was it? Did you scuba dive?
Hindi. Yes. Yes, I
Basta
love
pa rin
the
yun.
ocean. Oo. But hindi pala, nag-tree planting, parang reforestation activity kami nung when I came back from El Nido sa, Zambales, sa Corregidor, hindi, what's after Corregidor? Bataan.
Bataan. Ayun.
Oo.
Wow. Okay.
Oo, sa Bataan. Yun yung last kong adventure.
Okay, next one. Kailan ka uling na-compliment?
Today, ikaw,
Anong
you
compliment?
showered me with so much compliments. Successful businesswoman.
Well-deserved naman. Well-deserved.
Salamat.
Alright. Next question. Kailan ka uling napahiya? Like, do you have embarrassing moments?
Temo sa yabang kong to talaga, hindi ko amin yung napapahiya ako eh. Hala, yung airtime. Napapahiya.
Or meron bang embarrassing moment that comes to your mind? Like something that haunts you in your sleep?
Oo,
Ano ba ganun?
meron. Before,
Na pwede
kasi,
i-share.
Oo.
Ayan.
Oh, parang first time ko nga ito i-share eh. Before, like sa hindi friends ko So, before, sorry na.
Yung tawang-tawa ka na hindi mo pa nakapoint.
Oo, before kasi, hindi ko alam kung ano yung term na MVP.
Oh.
So, most viable product sa startup. Yung kung meron ka ng produkto, dapat yung ibenta na validated. So, dati kasi, ako yung type of person na feeling ko, dahil meron pa akong insecurities na kailangang i-heal at that time. Siguro mga 19 years old ako nun. Hindi ko inaamin na hindi ko alam. So, parang under the table, nagsusearch ako sa phone ko, tapos continue with the conversation with the board, parang ganon.
Right.
So, at that time, ang mga kausap ko noon, they're also founders themselves, executives, ganyan. Yung iba naman, representative of their corporations, churut. So, they're mentioning MVP, ganyan. Tapos, ano bang MVP? Like, ano ba to? Like, si Russell Westbrook ba to? Di ba? Brianna Stewart, Bright Aquati, ano ba liga ng basketball itong pinag-uusapan natin, di ba? Tapos, biglang, basta parang ginawa ko ata na nagbanyo ako. Di naman pala ako napahiya. But like in my head lang, tawang-tawa ako kasi hindi ko nga siya alam. Parang the whole conversation, it was revolving about MVP. Tapos ako yung parang,
Pretending
so,
you
what
know.
is your, what hindi who. So hindi siya player. Tsaka ba't naman kami mag-usap ng basketball, di ba? So parang ano ba to? Parang at that time, ano pa siya, yung season ng NBA na basta may nangyayari. Tapos parang, ano ba to? Tapos yun, biglang tawang-tawa lang ako sa sarili ko na buti na lang
Na-search mo.
hindi ko siya na-search, pero quiet lang ako the whole time. Tapos umuoo lang ako. Kasi parang meron na kaming MVP at that time. Na parang, okay, may MVP daw kami. Okay, ako yun. Like, like, yun. Tapos parang, oo lang ako ng oo. Tapos pag uwi ko na lang ng bahay, tsaka ko siya na-search. Tapos, oh my gosh. So, oo. Tapos parang moving on, like, from that day onward, lagi ko nang inagamit yung word na MVP. So, what's your MVP? Pero yun yung hugot nun. Kasi once upon a time, sobrang kinakabahan ako na hindi ko alam yung meaning niya. Yan, hindi pala siya interesting.
Totoo naman. Like when you mentioned MVP, sabi ko, okay.
Diba?
Most valuable player.
Oo, di ba?
Hindi naman yung viable
namang
product.
liga ng basketball.
So, it's okay. It's okay. I give you that pass.
Ba't
Okay.
na napahiya? Wala. Hindi ko alam. Ina-erase siya ng memory ko sa yabang ko.
Tama. Ganun
Kung
dapat.
meron man, di ko alam.
Na-block out
Tapos
na.
ide-deny ko siya. Parang, hindi ako napahiya doon. It was intentional.
Okay, pwede. Ganun pala yung mantra. Okay, next question. Kailan ka uling naiyak?
Kanina. Kasi
Bakit?
na-stress ako sa meeting. Like, after. Pero okay naman na. Nag-retouch na ako.
Bakit? Mabilis ka ba ma-overwhelm? Or na-touch
Hindi
ka sa
naman. I
something?
feel like that's my best self-regulation
Coping mechanism.
Coping mechanism. O yun. So, kailangan ko lang iyak. And then after nun, okay na ulit.
Yeah. Okay, same.
Pag di ko siya naiyak, parang may something, parang, ano meron ba yan?
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Ko rin.
Ako din. Parang to me, it's a catharsis. Parang mas relax ako after ko ma-release yung emotions. No, ganun ba?
Yeah.
And on that note, isa pang question, kailan ka uling na-frustrate?
Frustrate. Kanina rin.
Yun, sa meeting. Ano ba ng meeting na to?
Oo. Yung parang, ako kasi yung type na, okay, plano tayo, pak. Tapos pag di nagawa, parang,
Nato-throw off ka, gano'n.
hindi naman, naiirita lang ako. Yung parang, kasi ginagawa ko yung trabaho ko ng mabuti. So, pag hindi mo ginawa yung sayo, parang
Gets.
pag namatay ako later, mumultuhin kita. Ganong level. Pero makaka-get over naman ako. Kailangan ko lang iyak. So, with that note, di ko siya mumultuhin kasi naiyak ko naman eh. So,
Are you confrontational ba?
yes.
Really?
I am very, very confrontational. Also, unless pala, kapag like factory worker namin, hindi ko kaya. Like, at least, kino-confront ko rin na hindi ko kayang i-confront. So, gagawin ko dyan, papakiusapan ko yung factory manager na si Kuya Charlie, kailangan mo siyang pagalitan kasi ganito yung ginawa niya. Oh, kaya sabihin niyo, hindi ko kaya, pero kailangan yung pagalitan. Like, gano'n.
Good cop, bad cop talaga kayo.
Oh, hindi ko kayang mang-away ng at least our members. Like, yeah, I can't see them get hurt. Pero yung admin team, kaya kong maging confrontational. Pero pag parang sa factory, hindi ko kaya.
Hindi talaga. Okay. Okay, next question. Kailan ka uling na-surprise?
Dito, sa venue natin, ang ganda-ganda.
Actually,
Ay, hindi naman sa akin, hindi ko in-expect na ganito kaganda. Pero ang ganda kasi, like,
oo.
exceeding expectations. Hindi ako bayad so this is real, genuine reaction na, oh, wow, parang nasa...
For context kasi, this is a Venice-inspired room. We have a
Yeah.
chandelier, may boat. Ay, ano ba tawag dito? Gondola? Kaya ano, yacht?
Sa may bangka.
May bangka. Kompleto. So, even ako, na-amaze ako. And
It's so
I'm happy that they sponsored our venue for today. And on that note, we still have some few questions. Kailan ka uling nag-send ng heartfelt message?
Na parang ang mean ko pala, no? Kasi hindi ako makapag-isip
Mahirap.
agad dito. Di ba, dapat mabilis to. Hala. Like yung message, gano'n.
Message,
yung text.
letter, or when you paid someone a compliment because they mean so much to you.
Siguro yesterday because I messaged one of our, one of my business partners na she's taking the boards. And then, yun. I sent her a heartfelt message because she failed the first time. And then, sometimes it makes you think na minsan alam naman na ng tao yung sasabihin mo, but it just takes another person to believe in him or her to change everything.
Mabuti ka namang tao. Don't doubt yourself.
Thank you for validating.
Compliments talaga.
Ang tagal, parang ako, hala.
Good luck to her sa board exams.
Oo nga meron last
Papasaya.
April 6 and 7. And good luck as well to all our future doctors listening.
Yan, malapit na. And then for the last question, kailan ka uling na proud sa sarili mo?
Wow. That's a nice question because yesterday I was just parang writing on my journal, I want to be proud of myself. Like, I always make a joke na before I make any decision, sasabihin ko lagi, I'll just set a meeting with myself.
Plural?
Oh, marami kami. Marami kaming version. And I just wrote on my journal, I just wanna be proud of myself. Like, when I sit down with them.
What do you mean them? Like yung younger version of yourself? Your future?
Pwede. Now you make it sound less psycho.
Crazy.
Oo. Kasi pag sinabi myself,
Parang may salamin, tapos hindi naman din.
but yeah, it's that. Yeah, like my younger version of my younger self. When I was last proud, yesterday, I was aiming to run 6 kilometers. Kaya lang, nung 5.2 kilometers na, sobrang init na. So, nag-stop na ako. I'm just proud because my younger self would like do everything she can to finish that kahit na ikamatay niya yung init para lang masabi niya na, naka 6 kilometers ako. Tapos wala namang ibang nakakaalam, ako lang. So, proud lang ako na buti naman, di na tayo crazy sa pag-set ng goals.
You're allowing yourself some grace. Yeah.
Oo, at saka parang kahit naka 6 kilometers ako, tapos, yun. So I think yesterday, I was proud. I remember telling myself na, who are you? I'm so proud of you. You didn't finish it na.
And that's a good practice that we should be doing.
Yeah.
Talking to ourselves, checking up on ourselves then.
Yeah, and akala ko yung part na you don't always to be like there should be a good balance of achieving your goals and when to negotiate with yourself in achieving it. Like ano bang essence nito? Ego mo lang ba? Kung ego mo lang, itigil mo yan. Hindi nakaka-mature.
Okay. Well, thank you for playing our game, and we are nearing the end of the podcast. I just want to ask you, do you have any future plans for Echo Uling or maybe in your personal career?
Yes, for Echo Uling, it is very exciting this year. We are about to construct our new provincial facility. The legal papers are yet to be processed. That's why I cannot say it. I'm so sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
Even our patents. So, I'm very careful of mentioning anything kasi nire-red flag na ako nung materials engineer namin na, sige, mag-story ka. Di tayo ma-approve, ganyan. But yeah, this year we are focusing on our foundations so that we are ready for more. And then for personal career, I will have a guesting or like a part in the film Quezon. So, ayun. I think in terms of plans, it's just more of Echo Uling that I'm very excited.
Right.
Yan. So, thank you for having me here.
Of course.
Thank you for your well thought of na game and your questions. I also learned a lot about myself today. So thank you.
Thank you too.
You guys.
And if you had like one last message for anyone out there who wants to pursue social entrepreneurship, what would that be?
Aim for excellence. And aim for excellence no matter what in service of other people.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Aya, for joining us today. Thank you so much for your time, your insights, and gracing us with your presence.
Thank you! Thank you din sa inyo. Thank you.
Once again, this has been the Built Different podcast. Wherever you're streaming us on your different platforms, please like, share, and maybe even subscribe. And we'll see you next week here on the Built Different podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
The Built Different podcast would like to thank Henry's Cameras, Power Mac, Hollyland, Ugreen Philippines, Kappa Cabina, Surge Digital Media, Madcap Productions, Days Media Group, Jazz Up Communications,